Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna check another VR builds, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So basically we're gonna be using Aina, which is a character that hasn't had that much potential to shine here on VR, but thanks to the new additions that we have had in the game recently, she is now a lot more viable. And we're gonna do not one but two builds for her. We're gonna go blue and red. So, first of all, we're gonna use the same supporters as last time in the last VR. Well, kinda. They are mostly the same. So, for Natsu, we're gonna be using the Momochi weapon, and we're gonna do the Aina Rose combo. If you don't have the Momochi weapon, and you are not facing either Worm Knight or LWS Squad, you can actually use Vape Tool to inflict slow onto the enemy. That's pretty good. Or you can use whatever weapon just as a beat stick to have 4 Magatemas. But here, since I'm using the Bride and a Rose, I'm using the Momochi weapon. 2 out of 5 plus 11 and 5 out of 5 plus 13. Anti-machine water Magatemas to increase my speed. Whatever Magatemas on the sub slot. So we have Smoke Fan to heal and deal damage, Smoke Cloud to nullify some amount of damage coming from the enemy, and Restoration Smoke to heal the party. Then for supporters, as I mentioned, Bride and a Rose, Kichi Asusa. Kichi Asusa is super useful and super important if you want to use Aina, because she wants that penetration. She wants that free penetration. Lastly, we have Phantom Shiranui. Though we don't have all the copies right now, it's still a pretty strong supporter, especially thanks to this party-wide damage increase for humans. And the healing is also appreciated. Stats of the customs, stats of the stat training, and now let's go to Tokiko. Fuma Tokiko is going to be a really important debuffer. She's going to make our damage huge. So, first of all, we have Mechanical Dart, which is going to decrease the defense of the enemy, or well, increase our damage. We're going to use 2 anti-machine wind Magatemas and 1 anti-machine earth. Honestly, the third one doesn't matter, the element, because we only activate on 2 and 4. Whatever Magatemas on the subslot, whatever weapon on the subslot, both 5 out of 5, plus 11 and plus 10. For skills, we want to use the basic enhancer so that we become a range attacker, Clairvoyance to reduce the defense of the enemy, and Blast to reduce the defense of the enemy. So these effects are going to be pretty impactful, so we want this. Then for supporters we have Misaki, and I particularly have Tempest Lina to gain penetration and also to use my skills more frequently, but we don't need Lina. In fact, if you want to go F2P, you can just put Yachi on, that's fine. But preferably you add something that gives you a little bit more value. Maybe a Nano, maybe perhaps Torajiro, Mitsuki, Barretta. Like, there's plenty of options. On the last slot, I have the Founding 3, but if you don't have that, you can use, for example, Hisui to gain a little bit of defense. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So, stats of the customs, stats of the stat training, and it's time for Aina, the star of the show. So, I'm using the butterfly weapon, but it is not required, honestly. It is nice to have, but it's not doing that much for us. Another good option is to use not pufferfish, so that you have more particle charge and you can use your ultimate more often. And right now Aina doesn't have her limited weapon, nor her renewal weapon, so we have to wait. But probably those are going to be the best options in the future. Now, we have Suicide Drone to deal a lot of damage. We have Bullet Dance and we have Bullet Storm. Bullet Storm to deal damage to all the enemies, and bullet dance because on blue it becomes a single target skill and it deals a good amount of damage. So for supporters we have Amane, Arabella, and Lillian. Lillian on the main so that we can activate the active and increase our damage. Stats of the customs, stats of the stat training. I mean, she's a good farmer. This is the reason why I have her max out. And let's just use 2 of these. And let me tell you, Aina, it is really good against 2 specific bosses. Against LWS Squad and Queen Kanaloa because of the amount of enemies and the position of the enemies. Although Queen Arachnid has enemies, mobs, it is not that effective because those are range attackers which are going to be on a circle trying to avoid you. So it is not great. Both Queen Kanaloa's mobs and LWS Squad mobs are going to gather together, so it's pretty effective to use her. So I'm going to show you how to use her. Let's just hope that we don't have damage reduction on top of everything. Yeah, we don't. That's nice. So we do this and we just... Actually, I should have started with that one. Anyways, it's fine. Let's see. Like that. Damage. I mean, blue, though it can work, it is the weakest of the 2 options, just so that you know. Red is incredibly strong. I just do this, and I do this, and I evade. Almost done. And as you can see, charging the particles is pretty fast because of the amount of multi-hit that I have. Like that, perfect. Oh, okay. Nice, done. I just need to finish it with the last one. And only, well, a little bit more than a minute, honestly, but it's pretty good of a time. Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, basically, Aina receive a massive buff thanks to the supporters. Human teams in general receive a massive buff thanks to these 2 supporters. Phantom Shiranui and also Kichi Asusa, her limited supporter. So try to use human teams. They're going to be more reliable now. And try to use Tokiko on your human teams. She's amazing. I use Natsu because she goes well on blue. She's a good supporter on blue. But perhaps there are other options. Let me know in the comments what you would use as a supporter for a human team that goes on blue. So, for the suppress type strategy, is going to change the skills. Like, only 2 skills. Obviously, the blue skill is going to change for the red skill. We're going to use triple burst, which deals a lot of damage. And her AoE is fine when we're dealing with multiple enemies. So it is really effective, especially against LWS Squad. And we're going to use drone shooter instead of bullet dance. Why? Because there's 2 reasons. Number 1, you gain a heal, which is appreciated. Number 2, you're going to summon a drone, which is going to automatically attack. But on red, it's the laser variant of this drone, which is pretty strong compared to the normal one. So here we're gonna use the most aggressive supporters that I have. Number 1, since there's multiple mobs, we're gonna have Fuyutsuki to increase our damage tremendously. We're also going to be using Yukina, of course, and Susune. Susune is good because you're gonna have extra healing, you're gonna have a snare, so it's extremely useful. You don't have this, maybe you can go with something else. I mean, you can use Asuka, by the way. I do not recommend that you do that because you don't get any kind of damage increase with Asuka, but it's there because Aina does have a good amount of hits, so she can break the super armor. But you can go with something different, like perhaps Stella. you can go with, if you have this, Nino and Waver. By the way, we're gonna have the ways to get previous supporters. Let's hope that at least by default we can get 5 out of 5 copies. So yeah, that's gonna be good for newer players. You're gonna be able to use all of these, or well, not these ones in particular, but a really decent build. Now, everything is the same otherwise, so let's just let's just do this. So we're gonna start with the, it's not Bullet Dance, what's the name? Bullet Storm, I think, it's Bullet Storm. This one. We go to the center and we use this skill, we evade, we position ourselves and kaput. Yeah, Aina is a very weird character because she gains damage. She increases her performance by increasing her cooldown, which is not something that players would like. So yeah. And in fact, I wonder how that works in relationship to the cooldown skill training. Okay. I was going to use mine. Now it's my turn, and I use this one. Like this, perfect, nice. Oof, they increased my cooldowns, you evildoers. No. Okay, no. There. 1, 2, 3, and I position. And do I? Oh, there's damage reduction. That's why I'm not dealing with this on time. But, well, I say that, but I'm about to beat them. Yeah, like, yeah, it was a little bit more than a minute. But there was damage reduction on Protect. That's why. And even so, look at this. We did only a little bit more than a minute. So, yeah. Thankfully, Aina is now way stronger thanks to the penetration and damage increase coming from other sources. Honestly, Aina has always been good, but not exactly for challenging content. Only on red she's kinda viable, but she's not good for single target. So you prefer to use this against specific enemies like, as I mentioned, LW's Squad and Queen Kanaloa. So, yeah. Well, what do you think about it, guys? Let me know in the comments what other supporters, human supporters, you would use with these two. Because I'm curious. There's plenty of options for humans. Sakura is not that bad considering that she is able to snare the enemy and she has healing. Wait a moment. This is Protect, not human. But on blue, there's not that much options. Like, she can be kind of a supporter-ish, but it's not great on blue. Asagi can become a tank. What else? And that's kind of it, guys. I mean, in my opinion, maybe I'm missing something and you can show me. So, that's it for today, guys. And I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.